Okay, go.
Right. So if you're not ready to handle those types of emotional traumas, those type of physical traumas to the body, if you're not ready to deal with the aspect that you might die in a real fight, and there's a big difference in a sport, and sports are good. I am not a bad person. I enjoy watching UFC matches. I love watching you guys, and I try to learn. It makes me think. On the other hand, you're in an arena, there are rules. There's someone, if you get into trouble, who is going to stop you from dying, for the most part. In the beginning, here in New York, when it was first introduced, a couple of people died in the ring. I was around for that. But now it's fairly safe. When you're in a street fight, there's no possibility of someone coming up. If you're lucky, maybe there'll be a cop nearby, or someone will go get help, or you get lucky. But reality is, you may not get lucky. In most of my fights, I never got lucky. There was nobody to bail me out or pull me off of somebody before it got really bad. So that's just real. We have to build our minds and our spiritual strength to handle the times we get punched in the face. Even though we didn't expect to, it's going to happen. We might, if we're in a knife fight, we might get a minor cut. And if you freeze on a minor cut in a knife fight, you're going to most likely get a much deeper cut that will be fatal because you decided to freeze. Okay? In a real life situation, you cannot freeze. You have to think, not even think, you just have to emotionally prepare yourself through as many realistic scenarios as possible, which is almost impossible to do, to be honest. As much as we try, even in the dojo, unless I actually try to kill you, I can't, and put you in danger. I can't make it as real as a real street fight. That's reality. There are people who practice kumite, randori. Kumite and randori are great to kind of also get you there. So sparring is a great way of getting you to that point, but it's still safe. The real combat, there is no safe. You know for a fact in real combat, there's no one there to bail you out. Even in a combat zone and you have 6 of your buddies there fighting right by your side, in the first 5 seconds of that firefight, you could lose 4 of them. Now there's just 2 of you left. That's real. Right. 2 of my students have survived active duty and have come back. And they have some really rough stories. And the only reason why I reopened my school and decided to do this is because of what they've asked me to do for them. And that's what I did. Because I will admit, I had a point that I did question what I was teaching, was it real enough? And then 2 of my students asked to come back to train with me and reopen my school because what I taught them and how I taught them helped save them in actual combat. It saved lives. And that made me feel better about it. But I still train. And that's the thing. Hatsumi Soke still trains. He's about 70, what is it, I think it's his 75th or 76th birthday this year. He still trains at 70. You know, sorry, I think it was 86 or 85th birthday. I lost track. But at his age, advanced age, he still trains. Each of the Japanese Shihan in Japan still trains in advanced stage. So we have to look at continuing to train in an advanced age. And as we get older, there are going to be people who are going to be physically stronger than us. We're not going to be that great. I already got a couple of bad knees. You know, you're going to get bad backs. Things happen. We have to worry about our diets. We have to worry about our exercise. We have to take care of our bodies so that even as we get older, we can still continue to be effective. So that's the introduction to this channel, and I'm going to start to work out what I should film first, and most likely the first set of things will be mostly for Bujinkan people and people in the ex-con world. I decided not to make this channel specifically Bujinkan related, but maybe the ex-conners need to explore a little bit more and understand that there's a little bit more detail in their art of just what's been put in front of their face. I've collected notes for the last 20 years on a lot of different areas, and then I want to start piecing them together. And as I'm doing that, I want to do some self-defense cells. What I want to try to do is at least one traditional and then one self-defense. One traditional, one self-defense, based on the movement from the traditional work. And then I want to start showing drills, ways to improve your skill through drilling and proper practice. And then we're going to be teaching some basic meditation and other aspects to overall make you a better person. I think through making you a better person, making you a better martial artist, and teaching you strategy and concepts rather than strictly technique. We're going to have to teach strictly technique. We're going to have to teach examples through katas. Katas are examples, they're not techniques. Katas have a series of techniques in them, but katas themselves are not techniques. Techniques are waza, and waza are very specific techniques, but they're just tools. Just like a weapon or anything else, these are just tools. What's more important is you understand strategy. You understand how to set someone up before the fight starts. A lot of times, when I'm watching some of the other better martial artists who actually are really good, I notice through their footwork, through a body dynamic, through how they move before the fight starts, they're already setting the person up. Think about that as a martial artist, that before this escalates into a fight, you're already preparing yourself, maybe positioning your body a certain way, scanning the room, seeing where the exits are, seeing where there's possible weapons before the incident starts. Keeping your options in your head, and you have less than maybe 3 to 4 seconds to do it. Once you realize this escalation is starting and it's getting there, you have about 2, maybe 4 seconds at the most to make a series of decisions and be ready. You need to set the person up beforehand so at least you know what side of the body is coming at you first. If I'm standing square to somebody, I have 50-50 distance. It's going to be a leg on either side or an arm on either side. But if I reposition myself where only one side can really reach me at one point, if he tries to come at me from the other side, it will take him a lot longer. I am creating timing. I'm creating a certain amount of distance to make the position worse for him and better for me. So positioning, moving around, understanding strategy, there's more to fighting than just being able to punch or do a good choke or do a good block, do a proper kick, do a proper punch. Targeting, let's discuss a little bit about striking. Striking is just not simply punching anywhere you like. If you master targeting and know exactly where to hit on the body, you can down someone a hell of a lot faster than just wailing about on somebody. The best fighters are the fighters who know where to hit. Understanding what a glass jaw really is. Understanding the nature of impact on certain areas of the bones, on joints. Targeting in the striking arena is good. Understanding, for the grappling guys, understanding how a joint works. There's 3 types of joints in the body. You have a socket joint, a hinge joint, and a circular joint, like in the hip. These are the joints you have. Sorry, I said circular when I did the shoulder. But yes, you have hinge joints, you have circular joint, and I'm going to be honest right now, I'm going to look it up for you. I forgot what the third set of joint was. I'll probably remember it more. There's only so many ways to articulate a joint. Okay? So from a grappling perspective, you have to understand that. Other things from a grappling perspective, center of gravity. Right now I'm pretty even. But if I shift my weight just this way, my center of gravity changes, and there's some throw points where I already know where they are because I study where my center of gravity is. How do I throw someone without muscle? Well, it comes to understanding foot placement, center of gravity, controlling the spine, controlling the hip, controlling at least 3 points all the way through the throw, as well as what you do dynamically with your body helps you with your throws. All of these aspects, throwing is grappling is a very complicated subject. Ground fighting, newaza, is another very complicated subject. And frankly, if you haven't done it, stay away from it. You're not going to beat someone who spends 12 hours a week on it. I posted some videos up of a Kosakan judo class. The warm up is about an hour. They have 2 hours to practice training and techniques, and then they spend about 2 hours on the ground. It's about a 5-hour class. So imagine spending 2 hours a day, or 3 to 4 times a week on ground fighting. Do you really think you're going to be as good as somebody who spends that amount of time every week really getting to know about how your center of gravity changes once you're on the ground? How do you work with the ground when you're either in a turtle position, or in a mount position, or in the guard position? Your center of gravity is flipped. Alright? And you have to learn to adapt and change for your center of gravity being in a different position than from standing. How do I transition from standing to kneeling to the ground? Transitioning is also very big, a very important aspect of both judo and jiu-jitsu. So that's something else we'll explore with transitioning from movement to movement. How do I transition from grappling to striking and back again? Transition is a big part of the Japanese martial arts and being able to move from one to the other. So these are some concepts that we'll talk about. There's going to be a lot more. If there are anything else that you want to see done in the videos, you have a specific question you would like answered, I kind of know what the Bujinkan questions are going to be, so really I'll be happy to hear from the Bujinkan people, but I would like to hear from other martial artists what they may be trying to work on in their training. I would rather hear what you're working on in your training, and what is it that you want to perfect? What is it that you are concerned about? I want to actually have a class. I really don't believe in teaching videos. I really don't. So these videos are not instructional videos, they're tips, concept videos, strategy videos, thought videos. I don't think you can teach from instruction. You really should be with a teacher in your preferred martial art, studying with a human being who can correct things. But videos can be used to help with that instruction. To maybe see something maybe you didn't see before because you couldn't catch it in class and stuff like that, that's fine. But if you really think you can learn from a video by simply watching it, you're deluding yourself. You really can't. There's nothing like training physically in a dojo and working out what you need to work out. Alright? Well, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this introduction, and I'll be starting the rest of these videos soon. Thank you.